Okay, thank you for that, Luke. So I'm now joined by three lovely pundits. We're going to talk about the president's debate that we've just seen. So if you guys just want to introduce yourselves first, starting with you.
My name's Thea. I am a third year journalism student.
My name's Ben. I'm a second year journalism student.
And I'm Ollie. I'm a third year mechanical engineering student.
Wicked, thanks for that, guys. So I'm just going to start with you, Thea, and we'll work our way around. What did you think overall, just in general, a quick summary of the debate? What was it like for you?
I thought it was a good debate. There was a lot I think it got a bit sidetracked by certain candidates and their opinions, and we kind of went off on a bit of a tangent to gender pay gaps and things like that.
Things are a bit too general for an SU debate.
Things that aren't really that relevant to an SU debate. But I thought it was a good debate, and I thought all of them spoke well and gave their opinions well.
Good stuff. What about you, Ben?
Yeah, I feel like it was very. It was a lot more adversarial than the other ones we had tonight, especially at the start with obviously some very different opinions, as they said about the gender pay gap and things like that. But
does it annoy you when people talk about things like that in an SU debate? Do you feel like they shouldn't be really mentioning it?
Yeah, so it does feel like the kind of thing that that while these people are in office only for a year, it just feels like the kind of thing they won't be able to affect on a bigger scale. They probably could affect it, I think there's already policies in place put in by SU Council, things like to limit it. But outside the issue, there's not much.
So they need to focus in more on more specific things to students.
Things that are genuinely more relevant to students.
What about you, Ollie?
So I think it was a really stellar debate. I was on development debate earlier and punting for that, and to be perfectly honest, that was really boring. Really in comparison. This one had much more back and forward, but more interesting topics. And also I think the presidents, some of their policies differ much more than some of the other candidates. A lot of the others are just very similar and the same old mundane things. And I think the debate was really interesting, and that's definitely one that I want to recommend to people to watch. I think there was some really. Luke Baldwin did a fantastic job of shooting down some of the kind of ridiculous policies. I'm not sure about the legality of Theo's sitting in the UK position. If you look at how Catalonia got on in Spain, and the guy got arrested, I'm not sure if it counts as treason, but it's a bit debatable, and it's really probably not what you want from an SU president, because you've got to be responsible and serious. And I think, obviously Andrew has some very different policies to the other candidates, which produced quite a big response. It's kind of a throwback to the 1900s in some ways, isn't it? But it was a really fascinating debate. I really enjoyed it.
Wicked. So talking about some of the policies that are a bit more out there, we heard about the dog area in the SU. What do you three think about that? 'Cause I know it's not really a conventional policy that we've seen in the past. It is unique, you can give her that, but what do you think about it, Ben?
I just feel like it's one of those policies that's put forward. There's not much thought put into it other than, hang on, this will appeal to the students who probably don't care that much about officer actions. They'll think, oh, maybe not. It's a nice idea. And it should win votes on the basis of that, regardless of how ridiculous it might be or implausible.
I mean, I love my dog. When I go home, I'm so happy. When I Skype my parents, I tell them to put the dog on. I love my dog. But equally, I think it's just a classic, oh yeah, bring the dogs into the SU, that'll be great. I mean, I don't know many students that are going to want to pick up dog poo. Being a poor parent's great, but equally, I mean, I don't even want to pick up my dog's poo, so I don't know if people want to pick up random dog's poo.
It's been a big theme this year that a lot of the candidates have completely unrealistic or unprepared points. The genius card point in other debates. In this one, obviously, the dog poo and just dogs on the SU, a lot of people don't want them all. It's not very inclusive to everybody. Even for example, Kerry's point on making group work less in modules, that is just completely unrealistic. I work a lot with my department on shaping the course in the future, and to actually be accredited for our degree, which is important to be recognised as a good university, you have to have group work. So unless you want to forego all the accreditation, you can't take that out. There's just no two ways about it. So I think in future what's really important for the candidates is to research more, and maybe it depends how long candidates are thinking about applying beforehand. But I think one thing which, although you can argue that Lillian has some weaknesses being a very Labour candidate, all of her policies are technically feasible, and although they might be quite vague, she doesn't necessarily like trip herself up in that way.
Yeah, there was a mention of the title of president having more impact in the SU. Do you guys think that that's the truth?
Yeah, I feel like it probably is. Whether or not that is the truth, and in some ways it's probably not, because the other officers have a specific remit that they can follow. But I feel like the title of president just in itself has a certain degree of power to it.
Yeah.
That, say, activities officer doesn't command just through the word itself.
But again, it's sort of, you know, the last international officer's been the president of the international committee. It's just the sort of, you know, it is a popularity game in a certain way, and that's sometimes what it is, you know. But they've all got good policies, and I do think that it shouldn't be a popularity game, but in a way sometimes it is, and for certain president maybe it shouldn't be, but for certain officers it
And
is.
just quickly, last on the point of how important, you know, the president's role is. The truth factor is it's not as important as it probably should be. The head of the SU staff member has much more a sway over what happens. And you know, if you look at this year, Kieran Maxwell wanted to get a van outside with Pop-Tarts
Oh yeah,
for food,
yeah, I remember.
and that hasn't happened at all. So I just pass over to you a second.
Yeah.
That's, you know, I think I'd like to see more power to the president, because otherwise what's the point of it?
Dennis, want to quickly ask something?
Can I just point out, as far as I'm aware, that food van is coming next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got that in the pipeline. Very quickly then, guys, starting with Thea, who came out on top, very quickly.
Oh, I'm not sure. I know who came out on the bottom.
Oh, go on, we can take that.
Andrew came out on the bottom for me.
Okay.
I thought Elliot did really well actually in tackling some of the questions that were directed to him, but also intervening in the parts of the debate that weren't necessarily directed to him, such as the bit at the start with Andrew.
Yeah, wicked, thanks Ben. Ollie?
I think, you know, previously before I'd heard Andrew speak much more, I kind of met him more briefly. His policies didn't seem that outlandish, but you know, when he spoke, he was kind of tripping himself up, to be perfectly honest. Again, same with Thea, you know, tonight I think almost exposed him slightly. But I thought Shelby came off very well, very personally, and then Lillian and Kerry and Elliot all came off very well as well.
Wicked. I'd like to thank all three of you for joining me today. Don't forget to join us on Thursday, where we'll be seeing debates from all the other officer positions. It's going to be promises to be a very interesting evening. Hopefully it'll help you to know your vote. Thank you very much for watching, guys.